EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for the weekend, December 11th and 12th, 2021. We have a cold front moving toward the region, some very warm temperatures out ahead of it, and we'll get into the specifics and timing of that in a moment. Today's video forecast is sponsored by Bozer Brewing Company in Easton. They are at 1250 Simon Boulevard in Easton, very close to Lafayette College, and fine purveyors of craft beer in the Lehigh Valley. They have been a longtime sponsor of the weekend forecast video, have new beer releases just about every single week, so check them out. Everybody that knows me and follows me knows that I love beer. I love a good craft beer, so give them a try. Or Bozer Brewing Company, 1250 Simon Boulevard in Easton, and proud sponsors of the weekend forecast video. So again, cold front moving through today. Ahead of it, we're going to have some very warm temperatures, a warm surge. As you can see next to me, this is ridiculously high for December. 62 to 70 is a spread from far northwest down to the Delmarva, northwest to southeast. So very warm temperatures ahead of this front. Okay, this is all synoptically driven warmth. We have a warm front moving through this morning. Maybe a few leftover showers very early in the morning, but most of the day is cloudy. Okay, and then we have the cold front moving through late this afternoon and evening from west to east, and it should be off the coast by about 10 o'clock. Okay, there is a wind component to this too. Wind advisories from the National Weather Service might be a little bit misleading because it's looking like it's like an all-day thing, and it's just not. It's really going to make its presence known, its arrival co-located with the front. There's going to be some windy conditions with the front itself, and then once it passes, you'll have about a 4 to 6 hour period of wind following it that's still going to be quite windy. Maybe not as windy as the initial surge, but still windy in its own right. So that's the reason for the wind advisories. Here's the NAM high-res future simulator radar. I'm going to start this off at 7 a.m. See a few leftover showers here moving across eastern Pennsylvania and northern New Jersey. That's very early, and then we're just cloudy for most of the day, and really nothing going on. You will have this afternoon a little bit of a breeze picking up, maybe 10 to 15, gusting 20 to 25 occasionally, but nothing ridiculous just yet. Once the front comes through, which this is now looking at 3 p.m., you have some showers moving in from into the western regions, and this is going to be like from Lock Haven down to State College here at this point, and then every hour later, here's 4, here's 5, here's 6. So 6 o'clock, it's between generally the Harrisburg or Lebanon County and all the way up to the Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area at that point. 7 p.m. it's far eastern parts of the state, Lehigh Valley, far eastern Poconos, down to Lancaster and Chester, and then that moves to New Jersey after that and is off the coast by the time we get to 10 p.m. So if I had a request here from a viewer about the Army-Navy game, that starts at 3 o'clock. I don't think you're going to have any issues for the game. Not at all. Might be a little bit of a breeze in the afternoon, but nothing crazy. And you should be dry. This is now looking, by the way, at 7 p.m. It's not even there yet. It's still crossing the Delaware River at this point. So the game should be over by then. Okay. Earlier tailgating, depending on what time you're going, could be a little bit wet very, very early in the morning. And this is looking at right here. This is looking at 9 a.m. So you might have a shower very early. I don't even know when the gates open there. I'm sure they'll let you tailgate pretty early there at MetLife Stadium. But either way, I don't think you're going to have any issues for that game. But then when this front moves through, it's going to be, the winds are going to be co-located with this front, okay? And the reason why it's not going to be crazy before that is we have a temperature inversion in place everywhere prior to this frontal passage. And that is right here. I'm going to stop this a second. I'm not going to go into big detail about this today because I did yesterday. But I just want to show you. Okay, so the temperature inversion is right here. There's your temperature inversion. That red line. See the red line? It kind of goes up like this, and it curves to the right, and then goes up. Normally, under normal circumstances, this will just go straight up because you have temperatures dropping with height. This inversion is actually an increase in temperatures between the 3,000 and 5,000 foot level above the ground, and that does two things. One, it mitigates severe weather. So there's a severe risk for parts of the area supposedly today, which I think is a bunch of BS. I don't see it at all. Not at all. Certainly not tornadoes. Don't get me started on that. I had a big thing on Twitter about that. Second thing is, above this inversion, it's going to be windy. But with an inversion in place, it prevents the downward momentum and transport of those winds to the surface and mitigates a lot of them. Not all of it, but most of it does. So instead of getting winds during the day that are 40, 50 miles per hour, which it would be if that inversion wasn't there, you're talking about winds that are about 10 to 15, gusting 20 to 25 during the day. Okay, so big difference. Once that front moves through, and I'm going to move this forward here just so you can see. Once 2 hours later when it moves through, see, that's how it should look. That's what normally it looks, where you have the red line just going straight toward 11 o'clock here from the surface. So you have decreasing temperature with height at that point, and the wind is now able to be transported down the surface. So that's why, just like Monday, you're going to have a sudden surge. It's going to go from, like, I don't want to say calm, but it's going to be relatively no big deal, a little breeze or whatever, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, here comes the wind. That's going to happen again with this. That's exactly why it's going to happen. The cap is going to break. This is a capping inversion that I showed you here. This red line where it curves, that's a capping inversion. Once that cap breaks with the front as it's moving through, it ushers it out, wind direction changes, and then next thing you know, you get a rush of wind. So that's why that's not going to happen that way. And here is that wind. You can see that surge. You see before it, there's really not a whole lot here. You get some wind gusts. These are peak gusts here, by the way. You're getting up to 25. You can see like a leading edge here of a wind coming with that. It's co-located with that line, but you see these winds picking up here. And you got some gusts that are easily 40 to 45, maybe even 50 up here in the higher elevations as this moves through. And then that continues all the way to the coast. And then behind it, you still have several hours of 20 to 30, gusting 35, 38, something like that. It's going to go for about 4 to 6 hours behind the front. That's cold air advection related, that wind. The initial wind is with the front, and that's the biggest surge. After that, you get 4 to 6 hours of wind that's going to continue, and then we finally diminish later in the overnight period heading into Sunday morning. So you just have to bear with it a little bit. The one thing I wanted to show you here, there's not a lot of precipitation with this, not a lot. You're talking about a couple tenths of an inch, maybe, of rain as this moves through, so there's not a lot of rain. I mean, it could be a heavier burst here and there for 10 minutes, okay? And then that moves through and that's out. So there's not a lot of quantitative precipitation with this. And the Storm Prediction Center has or at least the time the video was recorded, had a marginal risk for severe weather in southeast PA, much of South Jersey, Delaware, and I don't think so. Don't think so. The reason why, again, you have that inversion I talked about. That's one thing that's mitigating it. Two, your surface CAPE, which is your instability, is a joke. It's 1 to 200 joules per kilogram. If you're going to see severe weather, you better be at least 500 joules, and that's like bare minimum. 1 to 200 is not cutting it. So you're not getting severe weather in this setup here. If you want to technically twist it and say, okay, well, we got strong winds with the front, and that was severe because I knocked out power, whatever. But it's not severe weather by definition. Okay, so I had a strong disagreement. Even with a marginal risk, it wasn't necessary. I just gave you an exact breakdown of what to expect today, so there should be no confusion. After this, there is a one-day shot of cooler air. It's going to get us back down to near average, so 42 to 48 are going to be the highs here on Sunday. But mostly sunny skies. This front is going to exit rather quickly. And then this high pressure here that's off to our south on Sunday will move offshore a little bit. So you're going to have a return flow around this. This is going to allow temperatures to increase a little bit. So Monday's about 50-ish or so, 50 or low 50s. Monday, Tuesday, even Wednesday, same thing. It's not really, it's kind of like, says slightly above average, but nothing ridiculous. Once we get to Wednesday, you're mostly cloudy. So you're mostly sunny Monday, Tuesday as well. Wednesday is mostly cloudy because you have a warm front moving through the region. That's going to get the temperatures up again ahead of this next front, which comes through Thursday night. Okay, so you're going to have another surge of temperatures here on Thursday. In both cases here with these above normal temperatures they were painting over a 5-day period was really geared ahead of both of these fronts. Okay, so it's not the entire time. It's just slightly above average Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Actually, Sunday's near average, right? And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are kind of slightly above average. You get a surge here on Thursday, probably not quite this high, but maybe getting to 60, 62-ish, something like that here on Thursday. This front moves through overnight, but it kind of loses steam as it moves through. So this might not yield anything more than a passing shower, and that's it. And then we have another cold front system to deal with the following weekend, which is Saturday. So Saturday, that front's going to move through on the lead of the next trough, which will get temperatures slightly below average by Sunday of next weekend. I'm EPA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is the outlook for this weekend, December 11th and 12th, 2021. Have a great Saturday and Sunday.